Hello, gentlemen. How are you doing today? Well, I was actually the guy who suggested the idea of doing a little tutorial type thing. I mean, I'm not very good with gunpowder weapons, but I guess I've played enough Warhammer, or Call of Warhammer. I should probably be at least fairly decent with it. So I'm going to be playing as Venice against the Aztecs. All armies are fully outfitted with, 3 gold chevrons and all kinds of fun stuff like that. Mostly just because, well, I don't know. I like troops to be really tough. I don't know. Kicks and giggles, mate. Kicks and giggles. But anyway, so the first video I'm going to do probably I might do 2. If the first, I might do 2 or 3, depending on how popular this one is, or how well received it is, I guess. Like I said, I am no understander of strategy for the most part. I guess I understand stuff fairly well for the most part. But playing as Venice, I realized I've never actually fully done a campaign as Venice. But I realized that, at least in custom battles anyway, their selection for heavy cavalry is terrible. Broken lances, I mean, you can't really tell, but I mean, their defense is only 17. 17. I mean, that's not very good. That's not very good at all. It's so bad. So instead, I'm going to use mounted crossbowmen. Position them on the flanks. But, alright. As soon as I get to that. Alrighty, now, in the medieval era, of course, in late medieval era, Renaissance, gunpowder weapons were first starting to be made. So for obvious reasons, they kind of suck, especially in vanilla. So, there are a few things you can do to combat this. First of all, you're going to want to take your line and stretch it out as far as you possibly can. Because not only does this allow you, this goes for any gunpowder weaponry, but you're going to want to stretch it out as far as you can, mostly just because this allows you to have more guns pointing at the enemy. And it also allows, well, I think in Medieval 2 they have like a fire by rank type thing. So the first rank will fire, the second row will move forward, the first row will move back, second row will fire the first row will fire while the second one is reloading, and just kind of goes like that. Now there are a few ways you can position them according to your army. The very first one is you just kind of stick them in front of your infantry, kind of like you would your average everyday skirmishers. Just kind of like that. That allows them, of course, you'll probably want to turn skirmish mode. You'll probably want to keep skirmish mode off. It's just easier to kind of do it by yourself or your own thing than it is to let the AI be the AI and end up doing who knows what the hell what. So yeah, you can either position them in front of your infantry, have them kind of hang out, deal some damage, and then move them behind your infantry and have your infantry line move forward to engage the enemy infantry moving up. You can do I do this in a Call of Warhammer a lot when I do play. Of course, I'm also a Call of Warhammer guy in case you're ever curious. I will turn their fire at will mode off, put them behind your front line, just kind of probably more like this, so they take up less space. And then right after the main line has engaged with the enemy infantry main line, I will sneak them around, deploy them, and have them just fire at the flanks. Because, well, obviously these guns do a lot more damage towards enemy morale than they do in actual damage, even though if they do hit, more often than not, it's a one-hit kill. Just because of their armor piercing bonus, especially at closer ranges. So you'll want to get them in close, protect them. And another thing you'll want to notice is, well, the total defense of 7, 1 armor. Gunners are usually really, really weak. The exception being handgunners, at least in vanilla. They have actually pretty decent defensive stats. However, they're not very good. They don't hardly do jack squat. So you're better off just not worrying about them. Arquebusiers, or aquabusiers, I think it's actually how it's pronounced, but I just call them arquebusiers, so we'll just stick with that. And musketeers are probably your 2 go-to guns, or gun units to have. And then the third way, I'm very bad at going off on a tangent, is you just kind of stick them on the flanks, like you would in front. This allows them to fire, you don't have to worry, but the downside to this, well, we go to the downsides. The downsides, of course, of placing them in front of your infantry is that the AI will fuck up and they'll do something stupid. They won't do something right, and you'll end up losing them. The downsides to putting them on the front, or putting them behind, is that sometimes you can forget about them. So by the time the battle's already over, it's been really intense, and you're like, oh, I could have deployed my musketeers. Also, you'll really want to be careful when doing that one, because I've noticed that random enemy units will just come out and engage them just to tie them up. It's really annoying to have to deal with that. And also, of course, for this one, they're on the front line. So I mean, they're on the front line. So I mean, more often than not, something is going to be drawn to attacking them, at least if it's the AI. If they're, well, actually, I could probably see that for a person, too. And while I haven't done much of Shogun 2, at least base Shogun 2, I've done a little bit with Fall of the Samurai. As far as I know, stuff should be similar. You know, you got your infantry in the middle, you have your skirmishers wherever you put your skirmishers, and you can just put your gunpowder units wherever you want, I guess. So I think for this one, I'm just going to put them behind the infantry. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. I'll just put them in front of the infantry. I'll leave my Pavish crossbowman on the sides here. That should be fine. And I got my mounted crossbowman, all that fun stuff. Alright, let's get to this. Sadly, this is the third battle I've actually tried to do. It's just normal custom battle. But every freaking one, I shit you not, has been fog, trees, rain, sleet, snow, you name it, I've had it. And I don't really care. This is fog and thunderstorming, so I guess it can't get too much worse, except for the fact that I just realized that gunpowder units are gonna fucking suck in the rain. Oh, I'm retarded, guys. I'm retarded. Just letting you know that up front. So, don't expect too much out of them. Just kind of speed it up. I'm getting bored. Listen to myself try to yammer. Okay, slow down real quick. I'm gonna have my mounted crossbowmen, however. Let's take archers. Aztec archers, what do you know? Alright,